Polytechnic. From 1987 to 1989, he attended Kaduna State Polytechnic and completed his HND. In 1990, he served the National Youth Service Corps in Borno State. Meanwhile, in 1999, he acquired a postgraduate diploma in marketing management. He earned a master's degree in public policy and administration from the year 2000 to 2001 at Bayero University, Kano. In 1996, he contested for chairmanship under the platform of Zero Party and lost. He recontested in 1997 under the platform of SDP and also lost. In 1998, he contested for the position of member Kaduna State House of Assembly under the platform of DPN and lost. In 1999, Ashiru was elected as a member of Kaduna State House of Assembly representing Kudan constituency under the platform of People's Democratic Party. In 2003, he was re-elected for a second term. In 2007, he was elected member representing Kudan McCarthy constituency at the Federal House of Representatives of Nigeria. In 2011, he was re-elected to serve for a second term. At the House of Representatives of Nigeria, Ashiru was the chairman House Committee on Appropriation. In 2014, Ashiru decamped to the All Progressive Congress and contested for the gubernatorial primaries and lost to Nasiru El-Rufai after a hard-fought elections. In 2018, Ashiru returned to the opposition People's Democratic Party, where he contested and won the gubernatorial primaries. Ashiru was the governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in 2019 Kaduna State gubernatorial election. Meanwhile, Sunday Marshal Katung was his running mate. Nasiru El-Rufai pulled 1,045,427 votes to beat Ashiru, who got 814,168 votes, although the PDP candidate alleged that the election was characterized by controversies and irregularities. The Election Petition Tribunal declined Ashiru's request for vote recount, thereby upholding El-Rufai's victory at the polls.
Now down to his deputy governorship candidate, John Yuber. Dr. John Marcus Yuber, who was born May 15, 1958, is a 65 years old man. He's a Nigerian academic, bank, and politician from Kaduna State, Nigeria. John Marcus Yuber was born in Southern Kaduna to a devoted Christian family. He attended the St. Anthony's Primary School, Mabushi, Kataf, from 1965 to 1971 for his basic education. He was educated in St. Joseph Seminary, Zaria. He completed his secondary education from the school in 1976. Dr. Yuber attended the School of Basic Studies, Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, where he received his A-levels and a bachelor's degree in business administration with first-class honors in 1980. In 1982, he obtained a Master's of Business Administration from the same Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, where he made second in order of merit in the MBA class of 1982. Dr. Yuber culminated with a doctoral degree in Business Administration from the same institution in 1999, and he was adjudged the best in the PhD qualifying examination in 1986. He has since attended several professional programs in corporate finance and corporate banking in Nigeria and around the world, including the Harvard University, Boston OPM Key Executive Program in 2000, and Chase Manhattan Bank's Intensive Credit Course in 1990 in Hammersmith, London. He was also a lecturer at the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and a seasoned banker. Dr. Yuber taught for 7 consecutive years from period of 1981 to 1988 in the university before switching career in 1988 to join banking industry. He was Diamond's Bank divisional head in the areas of corporate, commercial, and retail banking in the north before leaving the banking industry and joined Kaduna State Cabinet in 2011. From 2011 to 2013, he served as Commissioner of Finance and Commissioner for Water Resources under the administration of 2 Kaduna State Governors, Sir Patrick Ibrahim Yakuwa and Alhaji Mukhtar Ramalan Yeru. He became a member of the People's Democratic Party. He is currently a deputy gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the 2023 election in Kaduna State, Northwest Nigeria.
Well, that is a profile for Delta, Kaduna, and Lagos State. But right now, we'll be going for a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
We're currently at Anifuwoshe Ikeja here in Lagos, and this is the polling unit of the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, Godfatherism. And as it is now, the INEC officials are just beginning to set up. They came here exactly at 8:29 a.m. and also looking around, the voters are not yet on ground. And yes, we have security personnel who are seated here to disperse their duty. We'll give you events at its entrance.
The name of our ward is Ampang East, Unit 008, Muel 1. My name is Gloria Yusuf Kichwe. My position is APO 3. We have started around 8:10.
Did you experience any challenges while?
No. Yes, ma'am.
And what will you say concerning the turnout of election?
No, it's very, very okay. Yes. The name of our ward is Ampang East, Unit 008, Muel 1. My name is Gloria Yusuf Kichwe. My position is APO 3. We have started around 8:10.
Did you experience any challenges while?
No. Yes, ma'am.
And what will you say concerning the turnout of election?
No, it's very, very okay. Yes. The name of our
We're currently at Anifuwoshe Ikeja here in Lagos, and this is the polling unit of the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, Godfatherism. And as it is now, the INEC officials are just beginning to set up. They came here exactly at 8:29 a.m. and also looking around, the voters are not yet on ground. And yes, we have security personnel who are seated here to disperse their duty. We'll give you events at its entrance.
Hello?
And this is still KAFTAN Television from our studio here in Ondo City, and we have now been joined by our guest in the house, who is a political analyst in person of Sam Olorunfemi, and also we will be talking with one of our correspondents from Kwara State in person of Temitope Adedeji. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you for joining us, Sam.
It's good to be here again.
Same here.
Second round of the 2023 general election.
Exactly. And now let's hear from our correspondent. Good morning, Temitope.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very fine. How are you? How are you doing over there?
Yes, the place is cool and calm.
Okay.
And the election has already started here in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital.
Okay, so application has already been
what we
done.
just observe here is that there's free flow of vehicular movement. People are just going up and down. They came out en masse to vote, but the difference there, or what is giving us a kind of concern, is that people are just doing whatever they like. You know, even tricycles are doing their businesses, and motorcycles also doing the same. But still, people are various polling units ready to vote to cast their vote. Right now, we are at the Okobiyi area of Kwara State. That is where the former Senate President, the President Bukola Saraki, will be casting his vote where he votes. So, and people came out actually, like I said, to vote. But in fact, it amazes me that people are just doing whatever they like. Some are playing football, and some are even opening down their shop, their store to sell. In fact, we like this morning, we patronized the woman to know actually if she really meant business of opening down the store. And of course, yes. So that is the situation of things here right now at Ilorin, the Kwara State capital.
Are there no sufficient security agents to make sure that there is, control over this problem which you're talking about?
Yes, we got to 2 different polling units this morning, and what the APU, that is the assistant polling unit, what she told us was that they could not start in earnest. Why? Because there is this shortage of security personnel at that particular polling unit. So, right now as we speak, as we are moving around now, as I'm talking to you, We have presence of security men at the polling unit, but curtailing people from not moving, no, that one is not even really coming up at all. People are still moving. People all around us. As if nothing like election is happening in Kwara State. But still, people are at their various polling units ready to cast their vote.
Well, from your observations, looking at the old and the young, which actually takes the takes majority when it comes to the people present right now voting?
Yes, so far we have visited about 4 different polling units in Kwara State, and as we are moving, we have seen some other polling units. Based on the question you asked, both the youth and the old, they exercise their franchise. They are all out. Both the old and the young, they are all out. Like I said the other time, that some are playing football. Of course, the youth cannot play football. The youth are playing football. The young ones are playing football on the street, on the major road. So they are just good for the exercise anyway. They are good for the exercise. They are good for the exercise.
Thank you very much for the update.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So if there's any other information or report, definitely we'll get back to you in the studio.
Of course, we'll be expecting such. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was Dr. Adediji from Kwara State. Well, you heard everything he has said so far. What's your reaction to it?
Yes, Angela, but first, let's give kudos for the INEC officials for coming out early. On my way coming here this morning, around 7 a.m., I've seen some polling units already activated now, waiting for the electorate to come and cast their ballot. And as early as 6:45, Angela, this morning, right from Kebbi State down to Yola, down to Delta State, down to Ogun State, Lagos State, and part of Ondo State, most of the polling units already activated, now waiting for the electorate to come and cast their ballot. But again, according to the report, because I listened carefully to Tokpe from Kwara State, the issue of people moving around now on the election day is quite appalling, and it's not supposed to be, Angela. When you look at Kwara State is part of the Flashpoint that we have in this election. Don't forget that in this election, it's being divided into 3. And if you ask me that how, we have some states that will not be having gubernatorial election today. We have some states that their governors will not be running the game because of their 8 years in office. And we have some states that we have some governors that will be seeking re-election into various offices today. So that's why the election is being divided into 3. And when you look at Kwara State is part of the state that their sitting governor will be seeking re-election. Now the question we should ask is that what happened that people are now roaming about the street, behaving as if election is not even holding today? And the reason is not far-fetched, Angela. When you look at the just concluded presidential election, that is February 25 presidential election, from the history of Nigeria in 1999, happens to be an election that we recorded low voter turnout in this election, because after the election we did our own statistics and we see that only 29% of Nigerians voted in the just concluded presidential election in Nigeria, despite the 93 million registered voters. After that, after the 93 million registered voters, we have about 87 PVCs collected. So, and after that, we recorded low voter turnout in this election since 1999. So it does look like people don't show interest. And the reason is that,
let's just pause a bit, because we have a correspondent actually on standby. I think we lost her because of network. Okay. Well, let's go on.
Okay. Now, when you look at this election now, this election is supposed to be a key election for Nigerians, because the one conducted February 25 happens to be a kind of election far from people. We are talking about election conducted for people that will go to Abuja. But this now is talking about the election that really concerns the citizen.
I think we have her now. And right now we have Olaide Okev, one of our correspondents from Lagos State, to give us another situation report. Good morning, Olaide.
Good morning.
All right. How are you doing over there?
We're fine here. Everything is calm.
Okay.
Everything is peaceful and orderly.
Okay, orderly. You mean everything is well organized and possibly there's no movement going on?
Yeah, right now I am at Ward B, polling unit 45. and voting has commenced here. And as it is now, everything is still orderly. People are on the queue, exercising their franchise. And as I see, this case is the polling unit of Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, Gbadebo with rival.
Okay.
So we are still expecting him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's your observation about the security so far?
Yes, there are security personnel on ground, and they're making sure everything is okay and orderly. I think as it is now, we have the police and the NSPDC here right now.
Have you observed any challenges so far since the election kick-started?
Not really. There was no challenge. Just that the INEC officials did not come on time. They came at about 8:30, and there were some people on ground already waiting for them. That's just it.
All right. Considering your observation as well, what would you have to say about the turnout, considering the youth especially?
Yes, as it is now, the turnout is not massive, but we can still say that we hope that people will still turn out. We hope that people will still come on, and there are a lot of aged people here. Just a few number of youth. The older people are more than the youth here.
All right. Thank you so much for the update.
Thank you.
And please stay safe. All right.
Now, Sam, still on what you were saying.
Yes.
Now, don't you think citizens are quite dismayed as to what happened previously? Now, I know you say, was it
Exactly
80 or 90%?
85%.
85%.
And I stand
the
by
last
that.
time. Now, don't you think probably citizens, young ones, like you said, she said it's mostly old fellows, and they said the youth are actually nowhere to use that word respectfully.
Although they are hopeful.
INEC actually think to carry out their business. Now, you won't take that out of the line.
You see, Ezekiel, I'm not here to defend INEC, you understand now. But when you look at the February 25th presidential and National Assembly election, you see, we only recorded inches come from the EU of uploading of election results.
Insecurity still was there.
Beavers work very. See, you can't take EU of insecurity out of general election. That's what we're talking about. Now we're talking about, because yesterday I was listening to the first PRO from Abuja and was talking about deployment of security personnel. But the question is, you see, there's no how we are not going to run shortage of security personnel in this country. We are talking about 36 states now. No, we are not conducting election in Abuja now. And when you look at this election now, will be conducted around 173,784 polling units. Apart from FCT, election is not going on in FCT as we speak now.
Sure.
Now, what are the strength of the security personnel that we are deploying for this election? Yesterday, the first PRO was asked to give us a total figure of security personnel that will be deployed for this election, but it was unable. Just something that's going to be a kind of joint security work on this election. You see police personnel, you see DSS, you see road safety, you see civil defense. There's a combination of assignment today. But like what she said, I'm not quite okay with the view of maybe INEC officials that they got there late around 8:30. Because when you look at INEC guideline, polling units are supposed to be activated 8:30 a.m. That is what we have in the guideline. So it shows that INEC officials that will come and conduct election in polling unit ought to have been there before 8:30, because officially by 8:30 you need to activate your polling unit and let the electorate start voting.
As an analyst, do you think Nigerians still have faith in INEC?
You see,
in all honesty at this point,
it depends. It depends, because when you look at INEC, we have about 4 or 5 phases when INEC is conducting election. Number 1 phase is issue of deployment of election materials, and by Thursday, all sensitive materials already deployed to all 36 states, because you know those states we got our own on Thursday, right from the CBN. Apart from deploying of logistics now the arrival of INEC officials and electoral materials, that was another phase. Now the third phase is issue of counting of ballots, transmitting of result electronically. That's another phase. Then the last phase now is the of result announcement. So if people are talking about maybe they don't have confidence in INEC, we need to ask, at what phase do we don't have confidence in INEC? Is that the term of deployment of ad-hoc staff to each polling unit, or the process of using beavers to accredit voters, or counting of vote, or transmitting electronically?
The fairness, the justice. The presidential election is still quite fresh.
Exactly.
To many some citizens, they feel it's still inconclusive. I mean, we still have certain issues with the presidential election, and they feel if all things being equal, citizens felt maybe they shouldn't have been a congressional election at this time.
You see, whether we like it or not, there's no how you conduct election and we have some itches, whether we like it, because we are talking about general election. But to me, the election has been concluded because the official result has been announced. The winner of the election has been given certificate of return, waiting for May 29 to be sworn in.
Now, don't you think things as it's actually giving a negative effect on the citizens? I mean, in a governorship election in Ilorin, vehicles are moving. We actually hear some vehicles actually moving in the background. Women are opening up their shops, and it's more like nothing is happening. What do you think is because they felt
Ezekiel,
their franchise does not matter?
Sorry for cutting short. In that place, you can't blame INEC. INEC doesn't have control over security personnel. INEC doesn't have control over restricting of movement. It's the core duty of the Inspector General of Police. And Inspector General of Police came out on Thursday to tell us that by 12 midnight on Friday there will be restriction of movement till 6 p.m. this Saturday. So if people have
so we have another correspondent online who has just joined us from Ogun State in person of what's her name? Sorry, pardon me. Jumoke Ajibare. All right. Jumoke, good morning. Jumoke, can you hear me? Jumoke, good morning. Okay.
So as I was saying, as Ezekiel, so it's not the fault of INEC that the electorate are moving about. It's not the fault of INEC that some youth are playing football on their streets of them to go to their polling unit.
The same youth that got the PVC, the same youth that probably actually voted for the presidential election, the same youth that felt cheated. Now, if only, as some may say, if only they probably we had some excellent boy that said that the elections was not transparent enough. If we want to go by their word, do you think that election was transparent enough? As an analyst,
you see, Ezekiel, if the election is not transparent, and I will give you a clear analysis, since 1999 till 2019, it is very difficult for a sitting governor seeking election to become a senator to lose an election. And let me give you clear this data. In the just concluded February 25 today.
Okay, we have been joined by the correspondent from Ogun State, Jumoke Adebare. Jumoke, good morning. Jumoke, can you hear me? Good morning, Jumoke. Jumoke, good morning. Okay.
How best do you think INEC could actually get to reignite their faith in citizens? You know, more like help citizens, boost citizens' faith in them, because you actually agree with me that to some extent citizens actually lost certain form of trust. And
yes, and the reason is not far-fetched, Ezekiel, is because INEC was unable to transmit the presidential election result electronically.
So they are justified
in due time, because the promise INEC gave Nigerians before the election was that all polling unit results will be transmitted to INEC
principle.
To INEC IRF portal. But we don't know what happened on that particular day that they were unable to transmit those presidential results from all polling units to INEC portal at that particular time. But when you're talking about maybe there's a kind of trust deficit between the electorate and the INEC, see, it will always be there. It is this Nigeria that when you contest an election and you don't win, you see not to have done a very good job. But after winning the election, you see INEC to have done a very great job. And we need to move from that level, because in conducting an election, there must be a winner and a loser. But Ezekiel, when you're talking about whether the election is transparent to my own satisfaction, I will tell you yes. And the reason is, like I was saying, when you look at 1999 election down to 2019 election, very difficult for you to see a sitting governor seeking election to become a senator or to lose an election. In the 2025 presidential election, 20 governors, and I repeat, 20 state governors lost the bid now to deliver their state to their whole political party. The DG of Tinubu campaign, that is from Plateau State, lost his state. Even the Nasarawa State, the chairman of the APC lost his state. Katsina, where the president comes from, and the sitting governor, they lost it to the opposition. What of Kano State? They lost to the opposition. What even the Lagos State? Lost to the opposition. So how can we best define that election is transparent or not? And out of that 20, some of the sitting governors were unable to get the ticket to the Senate. So to me, if we are to judge INEC by this election, to me, and I stand by my 85% to INEC. But the issue of INEC unable to transmit the result electronically down to the INEC IRF portal. That is the EU, and that's where Nigerians, especially the TMU, are concerned over the INEC.
Okay, we have been joined by our correspondent from Ogun State, Jumoke Adebare. Good morning, Jumoke.
Good morning.
Okay, can you give us the situation report from your end?
All right, currently I'm at polling unit 26, Ward 11, Abeokuta local government. And I don't know if you can hear the agitations of people right here in this particular polling unit, because people have turned out en masse, but there is no security operative in Agemo local polling unit here, Abeokuta North. So people are also having issues of people not conducting themselves well, obviously, because there are no spiritual operatives, and human beings will obviously be human beings. So we have people that are on the queue. However, other people are trying to look for a shortcut to be able to cast their vote earlier, much more than people on the queue. So that is causing a particular recall in this particular polling unit. But another thing we have observed here is that people turn out en masse. It's still past 9 o'clock, and we can see huge crowd here. However, it is also a note of impression that the INEC officials are actually here on time. They came on time, they set up on time, application has been done on time. It's just that there are no security operatives. So one would really wonder how a polling unit will have no security operatives. So we can only wait to know how the election turns out in this particular polling unit. So much more earlier, we have been to other polling units where it has been seamless. There has been every presence of security operatives. We had a chat with the SSA to Governor Olamide Lawal, who has already voted, and then he also, expressed himself concerning the election process, which he said has been seamless. He also, commended INEC for ensuring that the configuration of the beavers was done perfectly, and that there hasn't been any form of violence. Okay. We also tried to ask people if there had been any issue of maybe party agents trying to cajole people to vote for a particular party or a particular candidate. And there hasn't been many cases, as we see that while people are scared of camera, they do not want to talk on camera, but we could tell that people have been doing, party agents have been doing this discreetly, cajoling people to please vote for a particular candidate. So it's still morning. We cannot really give, we don't know how it will turn out, but we are still live at different polling units here in Abeokuta. So as time goes by, we'll also give you much more details of how the election process is going here at the capital city of Ogun State, Abeokuta.
All right. Thank you so much, Jumoke.
Thank you.
Now, just before going to Woodbury, I intend going to Woodbury. Let's talk about security measures she just mentioned. It's more like it's the same situation in Ilorin as Abeokuta. Yes. Just now, we had a lady saying she could not go out to vote because she felt there is not enough security personnel. In Abeokuta, she just mentioned there is no security personnel. Yes, you said it is not the responsibility of INEC. Exactly. Now, who are we to blame? INEC, the IG? What's going on? And in a country where security is expected to be paramount when it comes to situations like this, because there could be issues of ballot snatching, there could be issues of violence, even loss of life in some situations. Exactly. Who are we to blame in this situation? And now you get to actually see the point where citizens have that legal right, that legal or moral standing to actually say we can't go to vote because we don't feel safe. Because if we don't feel safe, how can you possibly go to vote? I agree with you, but we can't blame INEC for this. Electoral Act is very clear. Someone has to be held accountable. I'm coming to that. They're prepared for this. Electoral Act is very clear. INEC doesn't have power to deploy security personnel on the election day. They don't have the power. The power lies in the hands of the Inspector General of Police. And that's where now I will call the attention of the first PRO, because yesterday he told Nigerians that all polling units, I'm talking about 173,784 polling units, that election will be going on today, that they will have the presence of security personnel. But he said further that not necessarily you see police personnel. Now we need to move down, because people are expecting that until they see police personnel, they don't believe that security personnel are there. They need to feel safe. If you don't see police personnel, but if you see NSCDC official, now we have the presence of security personnel, because this assignment is a joint security assignment, like I said now. So not necessarily you see the presence of police personnel there, but the moment you see the NSCDC official or FRC official, it was clear in this case there was no security personnel. I understand, and I quite understand that English very well. But what I'm saying is that voters should not wait until they see police personnel. If you see NSCDC official,
road safety official, you can be rest assured that we have the presence of security personnel. Okay. But see, I've been saying this, Nigeria is in short of security personnel in this country. That is a fact. And the reason is not far-fetched, because we are talking about a country of 923,000 kilometers square. And how many security personnel do we have in this country? Actually, police personnel, not more than 500,000. And we're talking about election. So it shows that today it's possible that we see short of security personnel, and that is dangerous for our electoral process. Because those that have this issue of going to perfect Trump rule in polling units, the moment they see that they don't have the presence of security personnel, that will give them an edge to go there and disrupt the process. But now it is clear in our electorate again, any polling unit that we have recorded of violence, automatically the election of that polling unit will be cancelled. That is null and void. But to me, it's not speaking well for the electorate to go out, because one of the things that will make electorate not to have confidence that let me go and establish my franchise is when you see the presence of security personnel in that polling unit. That will give a kind of maybe assurance that if anything likely to occur, we have some people in uniform that are likely to protect us. And again, going down to the Kwara where we had our first call, that people are moving around, it is expected that during this election, we have some security personnel patrolling, moving around and restricting movement from one place to another. And that is why you see that when you are registering for your for election, you have to register in a polling unit very close to your area in such a way that you don't need to trek from distance because you want to cast your ballot. And that's why when INEC opened the continuous voter registration, we have about 3 phases there. Maybe you don't see your PVC again, or you want to transfer, and that's the essence of transferring PVC for a particular polling unit to another polling, so that on the election day you have any excuse to be moving around the street, maybe from one place to another. So that update from the Kwara State is not quite okay, and it's quite appalling as far as election is concerned. People are not expected to be moving from one place. Just move from your house down to your polling unit, and people who are opening shop is running foul against the Electoral Act, because that's what the Electoral Act says, that during the election, those only assignment we have on that day is for people to go out and exercise their franchise. So the hue of opening shop, the hue of people moving around, the people of playing football on the election day, to me is wrong. But they can be asking that, why is not our right under the law, right of liberty? But when you are exercising this is national assignment, Ezekiel. It's not assignment that anybody can stop apart from the federal government and INEC official. So nobody is expected now to be moving around. If you don't want to cast your ballot, stay indoors and continue watching KAFTAN TV. They'll be giving you live updates. So people are not expected to be moving around. And in Ogun State, maybe we need to call our good brother, former first PRO, Frank Yuber, who is now the commissioner of police in Ogun State. And we have deployment of some AIGs now in each zone now. So they need to look at that particular deployment, that will see as some polling units that they are yet to have the presence of security personnel, because it is expected. Each polling unit resources of INEC from EC8A, because after signing that, all security personnel at that polling unit must get their copies, and all party agents must get their copies as well. So if we are still talking about a polling unit without the presence of security personnel, to me, it's not quite okay, and it is dangerous to this exam, because we are looking at how are we going to have a violence-free election. And those people who are coming to disrupt the process, they have their own work, they have their own plans. So when they see that they don't have a security presence in this particular area, it is very open for them to infiltrate and cause violence and move away. But the issue of people are not coming out. The report we got from Lagos, we're told that people are not coming out. It's too early now to determine whether people are coming out or not, because we know some people, they will send their boys here, go and see what about the atmosphere. Is it peaceful that can come out and decide my franchise? And when you got to report that the place is okay, then you put on your clothes and your PVC, you come out and vote. So until the election ends, 2:30 according to the INEC, then we can start doing our analysis, the voting turnout in this election. No, and we are seeing around maybe 10 a.m. now, and we are still going to 2:30 p.m. now to look at the level of voter turnout in this election. But to me, this election is key, Ezekiel, whether you like it or not, because these are the people that will run the affairs of state, because these are the people that you are very close with. If let's assume that our local government is functioning, running very well activated, we don't need to be looking at the state level, because the closest government to people is local government level. But today now, is what you know, that local governments are not even operational, they are not working very well as expected by law. So these are the people now that you can hold accountable at the state level, your governors and your state lawmakers. someone like me now, if my lawmaker representing my constituency is not doing very well, it won't take me more than 1,000 naira to move down to the state capital to challenge him. But how will I get to Abuja with 1,000 naira? So people must take this election very, very serious, Ezekiel, because this election that will determine how your state will grow economically, how your state will grow in terms of education, how your state will grow in terms of health, how your state will grow in terms of infrastructural development. So if people are not showing a kind of nonchalant to this election now, it will pass out in the next 4 years. Now
let's go into vote by immediately. Now the cash crunch actually combating the nation right now.
Exactly.
He said to actually said at some point to combat the issue of vote buying. I mean, citizens are said to be going through an untold level of hardship. And somehow Nigerians are trying to actually hold up because they believe it's for the best. And now we still have issue of vote buying. Where are we getting all this wrong?
You see, we got this wrong from the CBN, whether I like it or not. I'm not talking about the policy. Brilliant policy. You know, when you look at CBN Act, it's there that they have the power now to redesign the Naira note. But the timing from CBN government quite wrong. And that was I agree with the justices of the Supreme Court.
Was it the timing or their capacity?
The timing, not capacity. The timing is wrong, Ezekiel. The timing is wrong. Don't forget, last year, October, we got to know that we are going to redesign some new Naira notes, 200, 500, and 1,000. And look at the timeline given by the CBN, that at the end of January this year, at first, they will cease to become a legal tender, and we are running to the election. And at the end of the day, we discovered that they were unable to manage the situation. Listen very carefully to what Mr. President said.
Now that because capacity are not timing exactly, but go on, please.
When you listen to what Mr. President said after Supreme Court first ruling, and he came out to say that okay, 200 naira will become a legal tender, but 500 naira, 1,000 naira note we cease to be a legal tender. He made a statement in that white broadcast that they did not know that it will end up like this in giving some Nigerians untold hardship. So to me, the timing, this is not the first time we are going to redesign our naira note. Don't forget, in 2014, we designed the 100 naira note to mark our centenary celebration, and there was nothing like deadline to hit. Today now we're talking, when you go to UK today now, after the demise of Queen Elizabeth, you know, when you go to UK, they have this policy. The king or the queen will be the portrait on their currency. After the death of Queen Elizabeth the second now, you know, they redesigned their currency to have the head of the Queen's Charles there. And they gave now the white announcement that this thing will last in the next 2 years. So that of Queen Elizabeth and Queen Charles are going concurrently in UK. So what happened that our home cannot run like that? And that is the ruling Supreme Court now gave that at the end of the day, by December 31, this one will cease to become illegal. That is how it's supposed to be. I quite understand where CBN is coming from. You know, when you go back to history, 2 or 3 weeks after the INEC chairman said that 2023 election, they will do everything possible to curb vote buy. 3 or 2 weeks after, CBN came out that they want to resign the new Naira note, and it will end at the 1st of January, preceding February general election. So that's why we got the timing wrong. You know, at the end of the day, they even moved from January to around maybe February 17 and February 17 for the deadline. But some governors went to court to challenge the process. They did not challenge the redesigning policy in court, but the timing of that redesigning of the Naira note was challenged in court. So to me, I was listening to a reporter from Kebbi State yesterday, Kebbi State and Yola State, and they were talking that some electorate that said that they will not come out because of the Naira crunch. That how they are yet to see what they hit. I was telling them to go on the election, to go and cast their ballot, that they can't come out. So whether we like it or not, this issue of the Naira note has one way or the other affected
it's safe to say the CBN has failed us as citizens. Is it safe to say the CBN has failed us as citizens?
Indeed, and these are my words, not of KAFTAN TV. These are my words. They have failed because the timing was, see, it's clearly clear that the timing of this thing was wrong. They did not get the timing right. And I could remember again when the CBN was talking from Daura, when they went to Daura to get an approval for the extension from December 31st the deadline to February 17th, he said it clearly that Nigerians are going through pains and that they don't even know that something will end like this. So to me, we are not talking about, nobody is fighting the policy, Ezekiel. Nobody is saying that they should not be deciding the Naira, but people are saying that the timing, quite wrong. No way that we are going to the 2023 general election. It got to a point that INEC even came out that they don't have money now to do logistics.
We just got an update that the Labour Party candidate for Lagos State is going to cast his vote. So let's go see that.
Good morning. Well done. Good. How are you? Well, I'm happy that my ward we are having is relatively peaceful, but I've been having to deal with reports from all over Lagos State, from Ojo, from Oshodi, Solo, all over Lagos.
Mr. Olumide, Mr. Olumide,
there's been a lot of intimidation
Mr.
and
Olumide,
harassment. There's a lot of
Mr.
intimidation and
Olumide,
harassment. But we are on it.
Where's your mic now?
Well, let me just go. Let me try my duty and then after all right, thank you.
All right, welcome back, and we can see that some of the candidates are already going to cast their votes. Like you noticed during the last elections, you know that some of these candidates kind of lost the elections to some other parties, and we could call this a complicated situation because we don't know what's going to befall them at the end of the day. So what do you say so far?
Angela, governors that are running for second time now, they should be thanking God that we do not conduct governorship election and presidential election at the same time. It will have been a double disaster for them. Especially governor of Lagos State. It will have been a disaster for someone. At DB, we have governorship election. The same day the presidential election was conducted. No happened in Lagos State, unprecedented. That never happened before. But that will be the second president that will not win a state. In 1999, Obasanjo did not win Ogun State, and he ended up becoming the president. Now Tinubu did not win Lagos State now, but May 29 is coming here now because it's still president-elect, not the president. So by May 29, Tinubu will be the second president that did not win a state since 1999. Now, when you look at Lagos now, you know, we have some flashpoint states now in this election now, zone by zone. Southwest, we're looking at Lagos State and Oyo State. It's going to be tough in Lagos State. Don't forget that the Labour Party candidate, we perform respect to him before the presidential election. Nobody is talking about him. I can say that 95% of Lagosians are not even talking about him. It was between Sanwo-Olu and that of PDP candidate. But after the announcement of presidential results in Lagos State, Labour Party able to clinch Lagos State. Third force, not PDP, third force. You know, this candidate now got a kind of morale booster that no, you are the next. And it was then we started seeing Sanwo-Olu because he had not been campaigning before this presidential election. That is the fact. I've never seen him now going to mall, taking ice cream, and that is the beauty of election. Ezekiel, if you ask me, if we are going to the contest and are feeling so relaxed that Ezekiel is inconsequential in this election, it's not the beauty of election. But if you see, I've worked with politicians as a media head. If you are going to election and you do not lose weight, you are not doing anything. Wow. We must see you that we've lost a lot of weight at the process of campaigning. So you see what is playing out in Lagos State now, because the seat of Lagos State now, it will be very, very hard as far as this election is concerned, because we don't know where the pendulum will swing at the end of the day. Will someone who emerge as the winner, or with Labour Party candidate emerge as the winner? At the end of the day, the electorate will consider that. Then when we move to Oyo State, I'm talking about Flashpoint State now, that we all eye on now in this election. When you move to Oyo State, when you look at Oyo politics, since 1999, it has been on Godfatherism since 1999. But the coming of late governor of Oyo State, that is Ajimabi, in 2015, changed the dynamism of Godfatherism politics in Oyo State. We're talking about late Adelabu and so on. We saw what happened in 2007 between Ladojas and Akala, Akala is now late now. So when Ajimabi came aboard in 2015, now late now, you know, it's changed the whole trajectory of emerging as a governor of Oyo State. And when Seyi Makinde came on board in 2019 now, you know, they saw Oyo State as a new state that nobody can sit somewhere and determine whether you will be the next governor or not. But the emergence of Teslim Falani now in Oyo State has again put Seyi Makinde on his toes. And when you look at Teslim Falani, I'm talking about the APC candidate in Oyo State. He's not a small politician. He was there at the Senate as the Senate majority leader under PDP. And again, another thing that we'll be looking at in Oyo State now, when you look at presidential election in Oyo State, Seyi Makinde played a kind of game, you know, telling his people now to vote for the APC candidate because of the issue of party crisis between him. You know, Seyi Makinde is one of the G5 governors now. G5. Between him and their presidential candidate. Now he delivered Oyo to APC. When you go to 2019 presidential election, Atiku won Oyo State. under PDP, and that was what led to the emergence of Seyi Makinde. But now Atiku was unable to reclaim Oyo State that he won in 2019. Now Tinubu won the state in the just concluded presidential election. Now the question is, are we going to see the same thing in governorship election, or will people now say that no, we voted for personality in presidential election, but now we are focusing on what Seyi Makinde has done in the last 4 years, or no, we are following the same trajectory that we followed in February 25 to vote for our own candidate. So that's what we pass out as far as your governorship election.
You know, just earlier on, where I was talking to Angela briefly as to the G5 governors.
Oh, exactly.
And you know, what's his name now? Samuel Otom actually lost his state, senatorial seats
exactly.
to APC.
Yes.
And lost the state presidential bid to APC candidate. Same for Enugu and Abia. They lost the Labour Party.
Of the G5 state, they did not deliver the state for PDP.
I guess it's safe to say WK is more like a retiring politician, so I want to say more. But what do you think this actually speaks for PDP? Now, I took a trip down to Benue State some time ago, and then I took a time to actually speak to some individuals, I think around behind Modern Market Ward and the Wadata Ward, and they seem to be actually solidly behind the APC candidate. The person, Reverend Father, actually, Reverend Father Hyacinth earlier, which doesn't exactly sound good for Samuel Otom. Now, considering the crisis that already erupted in the party, and considering the fact they have lost, 3 of them already have lost their senatorial bid, except for Makinde, who I guess I wish him well this day. I wish Makinde well. Considering all that has happened or that is still happening in the party, do you think this actually somehow marks the end for the PDP?
You see, it's possible in presidential race, not governorship election race, because when you're talking about state level, PDP is highly consequential, whether we like it or not. But going to let's start from the Benue State that you talked about now. No, Benue State is a 3-horse race now in this election, that of PDP, APC, and Labour Party in Benue State. And when you look at during the electionary campaign season, Samuel Otom came out that he's pitching his tent with the Labour Party presidential candidate, while others pitched their tent, even though they did not come out clearly now to tell us now, they pitched their tent with the APC candidate. It was only Samuel Otom out of the G5 governors now that pitched his tent with Labour Party in Benue State, and we saw what pans out after the election in Benue State. But coming to the governorship election, Ezekiel, it's a quite different ball game. We're talking about presidential. We've seen cases where in presidential election a particular candidate won a particular state, and coming to governorship election, that particular party unable to win the governorship seat of that party. So we've seen it has panned out in Nigeria. But go to the Benue State. Benue State is part of the Flashpoint state that we have in this country in terms of governorship election. No feeling that the governor is not seeking a re-election again. He has done with his 8-year constitutional provision as far as constitution is concerned. So it's going to be who will become which party now will take hold of the Benue government house come 2023. And when you look at Benue State, it has been a kind of two-party system since 1999. Is that PDP or APC? And if when you look at the governor of Benue State, he was in PDP before, moved to APC, from APC, moved to the PDP. And if not because of the crisis that erupted in the party prior to the 2023 presidential election, it would have been the zone for PDP. Well, because when you look at Benue State, the people of Benue, I'm not from Benue State, but for Benue State, they love their governor so much. The reason is that when there was issue of elders farmer clashes in Benue State some years back, 2015, and in fact, the governor stood by his people to a point that he left APC because then he was calling the president to come to their aid in Benue State. But we did not see a quite good and swift response from Mr. President. That was what led to defection from APC to PDP. And then people have been rallying around him that they love his government and so on and so forth.
If they love government that much, he wasn't really elected for the senatorial bid.
Yeah, so see, it's quite different. No, people are now looking to the consciousness that how will you earn 8 years in office as governor and you are going to the Senate now? No, quite now people are now terming Senate as a retirement home for this for governors. When you look at the number of governors we have in 9th Assembly, we are moved to the 10th Assembly now. 9th Assembly, majority of them are former governors. Now people are asking that after using 8 years as a sitting governor, you are not coming to the Senate now as in time. So people are now working to their consciousness that no, after 8 years in office, go and relax and enjoy your money. And that was what pans out in the just concluded election. 7 sitting governors. It has never happened before. 7 sitting governors lost their senatorial bid. If were before, anything they want to do as far as election concerned, they will do it, whether by fire or by force. But people are now waking up to say, no, we own the past. The power to elect you whether to become a senator or not is in our hands. Not only him that lost his senatorial bid, Ben Ayade from Kwazulu Face lost his senatorial bid, Governor of Kebbi State lost his senatorial bid, and so on and so forth. Only Dave Umai managed to escape from Ebonyi State now. Now he's not a senator elect. So to me, people are looking up. I want to look at Benue State. I still want to, you know, last time when I was here, I gave 2 predictions that the margin between the winner and the first runner-up will not be wide. And we saw what happened. Bola Tinubu with 8.8 million, Atiku with 6.something million. Unprecedented. Unlike before. Is that this is the first time a winner of presidential election will not get up to 1 million votes in this country. So it shows how tight the race was in February 2025 election. Now, again now, another president I said that I see the presidential election ending at the Supreme Court. Now we've seen some parties now,
of course,
assembling their sound, big sounds in this country. Now we find their case at the Supreme Court. Now again, I see Benue governorship election between the APC and PDP. Now see, personality is quite different. That Obi is coming on a new trend that people are youth are rallying around him. That's personality. Obi will not be on the pilot in Benue State. They are looking for another candidate in Benue State. I don't know him, but I've read about his profile. Now it's quite different to me now, and I'm making another analysis now or another prediction now. Benue governorship election is between APC and PDP.
Now, away from Benue, what about Rivers State? Now, Rivers State seems to be a stronghold for whatever political party. The city political party or not, Rivers State is a stronghold in Nigeria. Now, Wike seems, is it safe to say Wike has actually lost face in his own political party? Now, do you think this would actually affect the state?
Ezekiel, you want to hear?
I know it wouldn't be a good one if
you want to hear.
I don't want to hear.
Since 1999, Rivers has been a PDP state. Go to that. This is the first time Delta will not win presidential election since 1999. You know, we have some regions. When you go south, south, and southeast, they are predominantly PDP state. Predominantly, you can't take it from them. PDP state. In Rivers State, it's likely to be a kind of win-win system for Governor Wike, and I will tell you why.
Okay.
When you look at the SDP candidates, Senator Magnus Ape, you know, he moved from APC to SDP because of Rotimi Amesi factor. Rotimi Amesi tried to dominate APC in Rivers State, and this long fight between Amishi and Magnus Ape has been there for long. At the end of the day, Magnus Ape defected from APC down to SDP, and he's a strong politician in Rivers State. You can't, in fact, you can't put him aside. As far as Rivers politics is concerned, now he's in SDP now, and he's swinging his own people down to become the governor of Rivers State. Now we have to Iko from APC. Now he's running under APC to become governor, and we have Governor Wike. See, you can't take away Governor Wike's factor in Rivers State.
Don't forget, he's somewhat a retiring politician now.
Okay, and before we go on, we've got an update that the number is on the screen, so please you can call in and make your contributions. Thank you.
Now, whether you like it or not, to tell you that Governor Wike is still relevant, he said it, that he will not deliver Rivers to PDP in this election. Did he? He didn't. He delivered Rivers State to another political party. APC.
Don't you think his relevance is time bound at this point?
No.
He's going to step down. He's going to be considered a retiring politician.
Now,
what sort of power do you think he will, as he stands now, I guess his state is actually still on a thin line, you know? It could go either way. Like you said, this election can actually go either way. Yeah. So don't you think he's quite in a tight corner?
See, whether you like it or not, after ending your tenure maybe as a sitting governor or president, you will lose some contact on your phone. Let me tell you what happened. Ruben Abadi, the former spokesperson to Goodluck Jonathan, he told us something.
Okay, I think we have our first caller. Good morning. Where are you calling us from? Good morning. Okay.
So he told us something that May 29, 2015, after handing over to President Muhammadu Buhari, on their way back to Bayelsa State, said at the airport they did not open the door for him and his central. I'm talking about Goodluck Jonathan when he was leaving office. So automatically, when you are leaving office, it's bound for you to lose some contact. You know, when you political offices attract so many things. Ezekiel. But by the time you are leaving, we have some former governors that we are not even hearing their name again. But when they were in power, whether you like it or not, they are the face of the media. They are news also in the face of the media. So by the time we will be leaving office, whether you like it or not, you get to a particular point, you just be referred to me as the former governor of Rivers State and the power we do. And that's why some of these governors, when they are leaving office, they try to enthrone their own people. It's what is playing out in our politics. If you are a governor now, you are leaving office, and you have me there, you believe that by the time you are no more in office, I will be there to hold forth to you. That's what playing out in Ebonyi State. That's what playing out in Delta State. Most of the states that government are not running the game.
Hello, and thank you for joining us on KAFTAN Television. Can you hear me? Okay, I think you're just trying the numbers.
so that, but he will try as much as possible to leave a legacy in Rivers State that even after leaving office, people will still be talking about, oh, when Wike was around, he did this, he did that, and he did it. And to me, whether you like it or not, Wike has been playing a kind of high figure in the Nigeria politics. Like anywhere, G5, in some places you see them putting on the same attire. Today, they're meeting in France, London, and so on and so forth.
Good morning. Okay.
So
that is it. But Rivers again in this election now is another flashpoint to see whether Wike will be able to retain the PDP power in Rivers State or it will be taken over by another political. But I see, because the defection of Senator Magnus Abbey from APC now to SDP has given a kind of strength now to PDP in Rivers State. And you see Magnus Abbey, SDP candidate, he will use his own vote now to weaken APC vote in Rivers State, not Wike, because he has been contesting in Rivers State. He's not able now to switch in, but he's moving now to SDP now. We affect the chance of APC in Rivers, like what we saw in 2015 general election.
I'm just going to divert a little bit. You can remember the last time when you were here, I was going to ask a question before we went off concerning the effect of ethnicity and religion on elections. So what would you have to say concerning this particular election?
You know, it's like we saw this in Lagos State. After the emergence of Peter Obi, you know, we had that some people are talking about ethnicity, whether someone is from Lagos State or not from Lagos State, whether you can speak a dialect or you can speak where your parents are from, are they from Lagos State, and so on and so forth. But people, I think people were able to arrest the situation because it's not too good in our electoral system in Nigeria. But whether we like it or not, Angela is still playing some rules in who becomes the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me give you a clear example. In 2019, Buhari as a Muslim won Katsina State, he won Kano State, he won Yuber State, he won some key states in the northern part of the country. He defeated Atiku. In fact, Atiku is from Northwest, Northeast rather, I beg your pardon. Buhari defeated him in 2019 with some 5 or to 7 million votes. What did we see in 2023? Now that APC feeded a Yoruba man,
Let's pick this call and see if it will go through. Good morning and thank you for joining us on KAFTAN Television. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, what's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Moses. I'm calling from Benue State.
Benue State. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
All right, you may drop your contributions. Are you with us? Hello? Okay.
I think want to react to our Benue.
I guess
so. But when you go to ethnicity, it will surely play out. And it played out in 2023 presidential election. States that Buhari won under IPC in core state, Tinubu did not win those states in 2019. So it shows the level of ethnicity and religion bigotry in this country. So the question is, how can we move away from this place? And it will be very difficult. Because when you look at Nigeria, politically it's being divided into two. The northern part and the southern part of the country. And what does law says? When the candidate is coming, when the presidential candidate is coming from the south, automatically the running mate must come from the north. If the candidate is coming from the north, automatically the presidential candidate must come from south. And the reason is that just to balance the equation. And that was what even led to you of Tinubu Muslim ticket initially, that no, how can it be? Are you running Muslim ticket that it doesn't work in our land? So to me, it's simply, but we are not seeing much of that at the state level, because we've seen governors Christian and deputy Christian. We've seen governors Muslim and deputy Muslim.
Maybe except for Kaduna currently. Kaduna State has a Muslim ticket too running.
Exactly. In fact, when you go to Osun, when the former governor was there, it was a Muslim ticket. But you know, those states since 1999 is have a Christian ticket. So it's not playing out as such at the state level, but at the federal level it's played, because some people believe that if you are not coming from our zone, and that was why PDP, some PDP people insisted that the candidate must come from the north, because they are believing that if they should go to the south, and pick a presidential candidate, and they are not seeing any viable, strong running mate from the north. It's point for APC to win the presidential election. That's why they stick to the north, looking at the strong candidate in PDP. And what played out in 2023 was what played out in 1973 presidential election and 1983 presidential election. When you have two strong Southerners in 1973, Papa Awolowo and Azikwe, they slugged it out with Shagari, and Shagari won the election. What about in 1983? We saw the same thing. But in 2023 now, there's something changed, because people have been clamoring that how can you have a president from north who have completed his 8 years and still taking it back to the same other part of the country? That it's the right time to move down to the southern area of the country. So to me, at the state level, the issue of religious, the issue of ethnicity is not that playing out as such at the state, but at the national level is playing out, and not until we're able to see reason that coming from north or south is not the, and that's why people are talking about competence now. That we should look for competence. I'm looking for whether zoning, whether now after 8 years of Yoruba man, let's go to the north. And people are talking about competence, that no, we should use competence above religion and ethnicity or zoning of a thing.
Would there ever come a time when Godfatherism will be taken away from politics?
It can't, and I will tell you reason.
The last time you spoke on this, you said it couldn't be. Change the perspective all of a sudden.
Yes, and the reason is when you look at the constitution, in as much we don't have an independent candidate. Okay. What does that mean? That I can just come out now without running under any political party. Since we don't have that in our constitution, the issue of Godfatherism will still be playing out, because by the time you get to a particular party, you meet some people there now. You know, Godfatherism look beyond people sitting down somewhere telling you what to do or what to do. But we're talking about, you can't get to any political party today without meeting some people there that will tell you that this is how to do, this is how we want to do it. So Godfatherism will still be playing out in our politics, but not like what is used to be in the past. Okay. That they will just say that this is what we want, we just pick a person's hand and throw it up that this is our candidate for this election. Whether you like it or not, you can't do anything. If that wants to play out now, people will leave the party and go to another political party. We've seen it. It happened in 2015. It happened in 2007. That some people tried to impose some people on them, and they left the party for another political party. So the issue of Godfatherism is a very dicey game as far as politics is concerned in this country. Now, when you look at the just concluded or the last presidential election in US, you know, Obama was going around campaigning for Joe Biden. Is that not Godfatherism? Going everywhere, telling that no, it's the person that Trump must be voted out of the White House. And at the end of the day, Trump was voted out from the White House. So that is what we call Godfatherism. People that will be there for you, do the campaign. But the negative side of it is, now imagine as a governor or president, and they will sit somewhere. They will be the one controlling your government. They will be the one telling you that this person that will become the Minister of Finance, this person that will become the Minister of Health, the person that will become the Minister, they will not allow you to even run the government as you wish to run it. So that is the negative effect of Godfatherism. There's no way you be to today that Godfatherism will not be playing out in our policies. Some people will be there to run the campaign for you. In fact, when you look at the Constitution, it is not your duty as candidate to run the campaign for yourself. It is the duty of the political party you are running under to run the campaign, to do the logistics for you. So these some people are doing it for you, Angela. These some people are buying vehicles for you, for branding the vehicles for you, rolling out cabs, vests, coming on TV station to sponsor advert. Are you saying that by the time you get to office, you jettison them? It will be difficult. And then people are calling cabals because they are stronger than the candidate, because they are the one controlling the party. In fact, they can make the government ungovernable for you. So that's the problem. In as small we don't have an independent candidacy running an election in this country, that if you are to run, constitution is clear, electoral act is clear. If you want to run, you must run under political party. And now when you look at the ballot paper, have you ever seen a picture of a candidate on the ballot paper? What will you see? It's the political party. That's what we are saying. So it's the political party that is holding the mandate, not you, Angela, as a sitting governor. It's the party, and the party will be the one controlling your affairs. When you enter any office of any sitting governor, you see two flags: Nigeria and that of the political party. When you enter House of Rock today, you see two flags there: that of Nigeria and that of APC. So it shows that that mandate is not for you, it is for the political party. And that's also people are saying that anytime governor differ from one party to another, that governor should be what? Should be removed from this board, because it's not, it's a mandate. And when people are counting ballot, They will not say Angela, Ezekiel. They will be counting the political party you are running under. So to end Godfatherism in Nigerian politics, it will take a long time, because when you are running, you are not running independently. You are running under a political party. Now again, when you look at the Electoral Act, we're talking about primary. INEC say that what? Each political party will submit the name of their candidate. Not candidate will submit their whole name. As a matter of fact, Ezekiel, if you are running under a political party, you don't have business with INEC. It's between your national chairman and some maybe national and some national working committee that will be having a liaison with INEC, not you as a candidate, because INEC doesn't recognize you as a candidate. They only recognize your political party that you are running under. And we have some people in this party that they are the one that you meet when you are coming to the party. They are the one that will even welcome you. But what we are not seeing like before is that imposing a candidate. Look at what happened in PDP now. You know, political candidate, it is a public ear that Atiku got the ticket based on the issue of maybe IU factor and so on and so forth. No, it got to a point. The G5 were like, no, okay, Atiku has gotten the ticket. Yes. Let the national chairman let it step down. Yes. So that's your governance we are talking about. They are not even fighting the candidate. They are talking about the national chairman that they allege that he collected money from Atiku to give him the ticket. That is what we are talking about, the issue of Godfatherism. And what pays that when the national was unable to step down, you see the G5 governors. Though they did not leave the party, but they did not campaign for the party. Atiku was in Oyo State, Magni did not come out. I don't even know if PDP they were unable to have their rally in Rivers State. I don't know, because we'll be having about we can approve a place for them. After some time, he withdrew it exactly back up. So I don't know if Atiku really campaigned in Rivers State. And
this thought actually leads me to a bigger question: the level of defection in our nation's political party. Now, do you think after this election there's going to be a large number of defection? Considering G5 governors too. Now, the three of them had already lost their senatorial bid. I don't exactly know how they intend facing a political party and expect them to actually embrace them. Do you see defection somewhere along the line, massive defection?
These governors or these defectors, they are hiding under rights to freedom of association under chapter 4 of the Constitution. You know, chapter 4 is talking about fundamental right of citizens. It talks about the right to life, right to liberty, right to home property, right to movement from one place to another, and freedom of association. No political party, they are all association, whether you like it or not. No, it's a combination of people coming together with single interests. And so all of them are hiding under defection. And when you look at the clause in the Constitution that talks about when you defect without this reason that you should be recalled from that particular thing, he's talking about the lawmakers. Read the Constitution very well. He's not talking about governors, because law says that if you are a sitting lawmaker, Ezekiel, representing your state, if you defect from our party that brought into office to another political party without some reasons stated by the law, what are the reasons? There must be a kind of division in your party. There must be a kind of problem in your party in such a way that you believe that your dreams and aspirations cannot come to reality in that particular party. Maybe you see some people trying to prevent your aspiration in that party. The law gives you right, Ezekiel, to defend as a lawmaker. But the sitting governors that are defending, Constitution does not envisage that it will come to a time when a sitting governor with all state apparatus will not move from the party to another political party, because they've seen that as a sitting governor, nobody can try to in the party again. Because as a sitting governor, you are the leader of the party. So nobody, even the national chairman or the state chairman, cannot threaten you. And that's how you see Governor Wike, Seyi Makinde, Otom, Ekpeazu, Ugwuanyi, despite that they are not supporting their presidential candidates, nobody able to move them as a sitting governor.
Well, away from that, we just got a report that the Labour Party governorship candidate has just casted his vote. And now let's talk about Lagos and these elections. Like we know so far, before the presidential election that held on the 25th, there were predictions that the Labour Party was not going to succeed in Lagos. Probably it was just going to be stuck to APC. So what do you see about the whole transformation so far? Do you see any chances whatsoever that Labour Party might still emerge this time?
I don't know if I should make that prediction again of that Lagos State or not. But Angela, going to Lagos State, you see, Lagos State is a kind of special state in Nigeria, just like Rivers State. Since 1999, it has been one party system in Lagos State, even though we've seen changes of name. Started from AD when Tinubu was there. From AD, they moved to AC. from AC to ACN, from ACN, now APC. So Lagos has been a one-party system since 1999. But what is coming out to be a kind of an interesting play for me now is the level of campaign we've seen so far. See, since 2007, from the emergence of Fashola, the former governor of Lagos State and the city minister now, all their candidates, they've not been engaging in a kind of rigorous campaign. Fashola did not do any much campaign. Ambody did not do any much campaign. Even Sanwo-Olu 2019, did you see much campaign of him moving from one shopping mall to another? No. But now, this is the emergence of Obi in Lagos State. And you look at the number of non-indigens in Lagos State. You know, there's some, I don't want to be advertising market here. We have some market in Lagos State that they are well dominated by some people from the particular section of the country. Now, you look at the population. You can't jettison or you can't see their population as inconsequential in determining who becomes the governor or who becomes the president. And something played out. February 25th presidential election. Nobody could ever believe that APC will not win Lagos State. At the end of the day, they thought, like I said, they thought first won Lagos State, and that thing created a kind of fear in APC. And the way people like, no, we've seen the way now, and we see how we are going to cast our vote on March 18th now. So that one now put a kind of fear in the sitting governor in Lagos State that no, we must not allow these people to take over Lagos State. And now we've seen what let me tell you, Angela, let me tell you, I'm not a prophet. I'm not a prophet. I will come back here. But I'm not despite all the noise, despite all the, I still see the incumbent governor retaining the seat. No, I will come here for post-election analysis now. But I still, because when you look at Lagos State, again, I'm talking about personality. You know, personality is quite different from EU of going out on the election day to vote. Though we saw it that Obi won Lagos State, and the reason is not far-fetched. When you look at Obi, all presidential candidates, they ended their campaign at their various states. It was only Obi that ended his own in Lagos State, not ended his own in Anambra State. He ended his own in Lagos. And when you look at Obi last rally in Lagos State, he went to those shops that I don't want to mention here now, to campaign, where he believed that he had his people there. He went there to campaign, and the result came out positive for him during the election. But during the governorship election, we are talking about the government that is very close to you. We are not talking about federal government now. We are talking about the state that will determine the level of infrastructure development in your state. We are talking about the state that will determine your minimum wage. We are talking about the government that will determine your livelihood and amenities. So to me, before, it was a contest between the APC and PDP. But now, since the EU of table have thought that, no, in politics, Angela, 24 hours is a big deal. Things can change within 24 hours in politics. Now that we saw the emergence of Roosevelt now, it has been now a 2-horse race in Lagos State between Sanwo-Olu and the Labour Party candidate. But to me, I see Sanwo-Olu retaining the seat.
All right, we'll just be going for a very short break. When we get back, we'll continue. Stay with us.
Country is having the governorship and House of Assembly elections. I'm here in Abeokuta, North Local Government at Pepsi Akpo. And here at this polling unit, we can see behind me that the polling unit is already set. We have the presiding officer and other INEC officers here ready for the people to come cast their vote for the preferred candidates. Let's speak to the presiding officer of this polling unit. So you're basically just waiting to say
my name is What have you noticed so far?
Okay, we've been to Egbeda, Olowora, Ujudu. We are now at Anifowoshi. Then what we noticed is that during the presidential election, when we moved out as early as 7:30, even up till after 9, 10, personnel were on ground. Admin staff, I know, nowhere to be found. Then what we noticed is that there's a significant improvement from what we had during the presidential in this gubernatorial and elections. So we've seen the presence of personnel, we've seen the presence of adult staff, academic staff. Another heartwarming thing is that election has even commenced. Adebowale Emejibi, Olowura, even Anifowoshe here. So there is hope. We must continue to keep hope alive and know that when there is improvement, then things will be better for us in Nigeria. And I just want to tell our people that election is not war. Election should even be like picnic, where you just gather joyfully, gleefully. You are not bothered about who anyone votes for. You just be concerned about voting for yourself. And that's what election should be. We are just hopeful that Beavers will function very well. And the essence of Beavers is to enhance credibility, transparency, and also ensuring that votes count.
I know you have observers everywhere. What has been the feedback? Everywhere calm? What have they been telling you?
Yes, we have observers almost everywhere. We have Oshun, we have Kwara, we have... So everywhere is calm.
As you can see, there
the time when I reach here, it's 6:30. We don't meet anybody. But we meet that policewoman. And this woman don't find them a good go again. The woman are conscious. We don't see anybody, we don't see police, we don't see anything. See now. So we don't know what's happening. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Stephen Ayodele.
Okay.
My name is Stephen Ayodele.
These are the ward, the name number of this ward and the unit.
This ward is unit 62, ward 7. So we have been here this morning waiting for the INEC official to come and put their working stuff in this side. So a lot of people have been here waiting for them, so they didn't show up. So it's better for you. We want to beg you, maybe you can help us to call them so that they can start, working. So a lot of people have been here and they have go back to their home. So
your name once again, sir?
My name is Stephen.
These sir, can we meet you?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Your name?
Okay,
please, what's going on, sir?
There is no election in INEC in zone in Ward 62. We are waiting for them. We are expecting them. That's our problem in zone Ward 62.
Okay, tell us, do you still have the agitation to wait, or you won't leave?
And we are still expecting them. So people are ready to vote for their choice. Listen, bye. Thank you.
Okay, what?
Is it Ward 6 or what?
And our people have turned out as much as they can. What we will now be waiting for is to hope that the process has advertised and has made known to us that things will be transmitted from here directly to the IREF and to the portal in Abuja. Truth of the matter is that once elections have been done at the polling unit, people have their expectation on how well it was conducted. Again, I'm saying that it has been well, at least from what I can see. Beavers have worked, accreditation has worked. Remaining now, we've done our part. Let those who are responsible for counting the vote do their own part. And those who are responsible for transmitting the result also do their own part. There is so much to be lost if the integrity of an election process is destroyed. As far as I can see, so far, so good.
Thank you for staying tuned, and that was the situation report for the field in some states currently. And we just received some reports. From what we've seen so far, Sanwo-Olu has gone to cast his vote at Lagos Island Ward E3 polling unit 6. So we may continue from where we stopped, because we're talking about Lagos.
Yes, Angela, we are talking about Lagos. How is something we play out today? I think we are yet to receive reports from that of PDP candidate, whether he has been to his polling unit to cast his ballot. But to me, Lagos is a key center today for to all Nigerians. Let's see whether they will end the political hegemony of Bola Tinubu since 1999, or they will not end it. But I think the power lies in the hands of the electorate to determine who becomes their governor. And I think they've listened to all the candidates. They've listened to their manifestos, brilliant manifestos, but one advantage, all these sitting governors who are seeking election, all the advantage they have is that they will start campaigning on what they've done in the past. They will stand that, let me continue what I've started, I've done this. But those who are coming afresh, it will be difficult for them now to try to beat what the sitting governor, what he or she, not she yet now, what he has done, what he has done in the past now. But in the case of Lagos State, like I said, I see. You see, I'm not here to campaign for the governor, but no, we are doing analysis. What someone who has been able to do since 2019 when he was there, not today. I think he has been able to bring a lot of transformation to the state. He brought you of a rail line project and so on and so on. But you see, what people are saying on social media is because of NSAS that happened in 2020. People are using now to campaign against that. It was one that ordered the security personnel to shoot Nigerians. Does he have the power to order security personnel, or he doesn't, and so on and so forth? In fact, I was listening to the Labour Party candidate, and it was like none of the candidates jostling for the post are from Lagos State. Instead of talking about those who came from Osun State, Kogi State, and so on and so forth, that Lagos is no man's land state. But to me, what interesting will come out in Lagos State today is that they will see whether the political system will change in Lagos State today or not. But to me, we can't use what happened in February 25th now to judge what will happen today. The perception is not the same. Someone who is not the same like Tinubu. Normally, we have some people that doesn't like Tinubu's factor, maybe due to the old age surrounding his candidacy, and so on and so forth. But when you look at someone, what do you want to hold against him? You understand now? So to me, it's going to be an interesting game, but quite unfortunate. They've pushed the PDP guy now to the third force. They've pushed him. I'm talking about Jandor now. Before it has been between Jandor and Sanwo-Olu. Lagos say we leave the PDP. Will PDP be able to retake the government in Lagos? Since 1999, PDP has been struggling to take Lagos State. They've tried all what they could to take Lagos State. They were unable. They were like, will Jandor be the messiah of PDP? But when GRV suddenly a man from nowhere after the election, they put Jandor down to third force. And one thing about politics, Angela, is that it's possible for even the Labour Party candidate now to even come third in this election. That's one thing about politics.
You said something, sorry, Ezekiel, but you said something concerning the outcome of this particular election in Lagos State. And, well, particularly Segun Showunmi in Ogun State today has casted his vote already. And during an interview, he made a statement which caught my attention, saying that he now awaits, INEC to upload this result successfully, because the exercise itself is not the only thing that is paramount in this election, but the result at the end of the day, and this is what people are anticipating. So what do you have to say about this statement?
I think there was a court judgment that compelled INEC now to ensure that all results are uploaded right from the polling unit. And when you look at the February 23rd, Angela, it was only the presidential election result, the senatorial result, the House of Rep result, all were uploaded. All were uploaded on INEC IREF. But the only thing,
got to the presidential,
and yet INEC is yet to come out to tell us what really happened. Was he as the result of hackers trying to hack the system, or some technical issues? INEC has yet to come out to give us a clear what happened at that particular election, that we were unable to transmit presidential election results. But when you look at what happened in Osun, Angela, and Ekiti, we had off-season elections in Osun and Ekiti, where we made use of beavers. You will discover that 8 a.m. the following day, we already had the announcement of who become of who won the election in Osun and Ekiti. So I'm expecting the same thing now to play out in this ongoing election. Latest by 10 a.m. tomorrow, Angela, we want to start listening to who becomes the governor of each state now. This election, we are not taking any result to Abuja now. This result will not be announced in Abuja. It's only the presidential election that we can announce at the International Coalition Center in Abuja. All this now will be announced at the state level. In fact, the state assembly election will be announced at the local government level. They are not taking the result to Akure. I'm using those as an example now. So they're not taking the result to capital level, capital state in each state. But the governorship election will move from the polling unit down to ward collation. From ward collation, we move to the local government collation. Then each local government will not collate their result. They take it to the state capital for the resident electoral commission and the returning officer to announce. So we are expecting that if INEC want to give us a kind of election that will be acceptable, as Ezekiel is going, whether the election will be accepted or not, let them start announcing results right from 8 a.m. tomorrow from all states, apart from saying that they not have or conduct governorship election. So all states now that we are conducting government elections today, latest by 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. tomorrow, we want to start seeing results. And the uploading of the result on IREV portal. Starting from tonight now, we want each political, or even Nigerians, to start going on IREV to start getting results from each polling unit so that they can start their own tabulation. I could remember in Edo State that brought in Obasa the second time now, before the official announcement of that result, we've already done our own tabulation from INEC website. And what we did matched or correlated with what INEC gave us. In Osun, in Ekiti, the same method we adopted. And now in this election now, we want to see a kind of situation whereby INEC now will now restore the lost confidence that Nigeria now have in them after the February 23 governorship presidential election. So what Nigeria want to see, because I listen to people now from field that are talking about the process that we going on. See, nothing wrong with our beavers. Beavers is working very well. After the 23 presidential election, beavers worked 98%. 98%. The issue now happens to be uploading of results according to section 64 of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended. So what Nigeria are expecting on that, by the time we are done with the result, let them upload results right from the polling unit to IREV. And to me, you know, that's what people are saying, that each political party now should be well represented. I'm talking about agents at the polling unit, because it is mandatory by INEC that after putting the figures of each political parties, their agent must append their signature. After appending their signature, each political agent will be given a copy of that election result. Then they can use it to track what INEC will upload on INEC server. In fact, there's no need of waiting for INEC to upload results before you start doing your own calculation as a political party, because all of them now have their own situation room, whereby their agent from field will be sending reports in to their, then they start collecting their own result from their situation room.
Okay, we just got another report and we'll be seeing that right now from Kwara State.
At the early hour of today, there was free vehicular movement at Gambari Junction area of Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, where some commercial motorcycles and tricycles were on their normal business activities as at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, election hour. Also at Okpobi, Agbaji area of the state capital, where the former Senate President Bukola Saraki votes, voting did not commence in earnest at Unit 6, where he votes.
We are just coming, and now we are seeing just 2 party agents. So we can't wait for the rest because of the time. And there are very voters here that want to vote. So we want to call on the police officer and the immigration so that they can confirm that we've not accredited anybody. We are just starting.
The assistant polling officer, Omowumi Daud Rukayat, said the delay was as a result of logistics issue beyond their control.
The problem is that we are waiting for some drivers to come and pick us. That's why we are late. We're supposed to commence the by 8:30, but now because we came late, now we need to check the time. So the time that we start, we determine the time that we close the but we're supposed to end by 2:30, sir.
The election eventually started at exactly 9:15 a.m. from Ilorin, Kwara State capital. Temitope Adedeji reporting for KAFTAN.
Okay, that report was from Kwara State, and we can see that there has been a delay concerning the exercise so far. What do you have to say about this? And I heard them saying that they're blaming it on logistics.
And also party agents actually being there on time.
Yeah.
I guess this is the point, the party agent need to be there on time so as to avoid any sort of fiasco as...
Yes, let me start from the issue of party agents. You know, before a party agent or people can certify that truly the election or the ballot paper you are bringing for this election have not been printed anywhere. So ballot party agent needs to be there to see the ballot papers and so, because you see that at the delivery of sensitive materials at the CBN, all political parties, they must be well represented there to see, at all. But this issue of logistics, a lot of things are still facing our national process in this country, Angela. You see, it's not easy. And I was telling someone that election in Nigeria is very expensive. Apart from being expensive, the logistics. Because when I was looking at the sensitive materials at the CBN office, I was like, this is stressful for us in this country. Looking at when we have a kind of e-voting in this country, just like ATM, just bring out your voter's card, move to any e-machine system, put in there, cast your ballot, and move away. Now they are talking about logistics. See, I've worked with INEC before, and let me tell you how this thing works. Now we move materials from INEC office down to RAC, that is Area Registration Council, that is Ward Collation Center. Then from Ward Collation Center now is there they start distributing election materials to presiding officers, where they will go and monitor the election and so on and so on. In some cases, I discovered, in some cases, for you to see a kind of transportation system that will move you from Ward Collation Center to your polling unit, it normally takes time. I could remember in 2020, we were at a particular polling unit in Ondo. They've made arrangement with bikes people that will convey us from that rack to our polling unit. You know that on the money, those bike men rejected the money, that they need increment. We were delayed for about 3 hours, and voters already waiting for us to bring election materials and vote. So this is one of the logistics we are talking about. Transporting election materials from one area to another is a big issue as far as INEC and electioneering process concerned in this country. In fact, some cases you enter agreement with all these union, the following morning they will tell you that they will come up with another thing, and you have no option. You can't put election materials on your head and start walking miles to where you conduct election. You need a transportation system that will take you from one unit to another. So that is what we are still battling, and what is still affecting our electioneering process in this country. I think a report from Kwara State talking about late arrival of materials, late arrival of so on and so forth. So it may be due to movement or to the transportation system of a thing. That's what we are saying. And now people are talking about it's high time we move from this manual system to e-voting system. But if we are to move from e-voting system, we saw what happened now. That result will open to be uploaded. So you'll be there waiting for when network will come for you to cast your ballot. So to me, I think it's part of things that we need to work on. And when you see most of these racks, right, those are the remote areas. You see INEC officials going a day before the election. In fact, most of our roads in rural area, they are not motorable. And one of the challenges that these people are facing. But I believe that we ought to have moved a little bit beyond this. And I think the thing is getting better. Unlike before, where you wait at 1 p.m., 2 p.m., election will not start. And let me say this. This is one of the things that led to accreditation and voting simultaneously. You know, before in election in this country, you first go for accreditation. Of course. You understand now? Yeah. Maybe by 12:30, you not come back for voting proper. But after seeing that 8 p.m., 9 p.m., election still goes on. That was why INEC came up with this kind of modality that, okay, accreditation and voting will be going on simultaneously. The moment you are being accredited, you'll be hearing a ballot paper, go to the cubicle, thumbprint, drop it, and move away. Yet, we are still seeing late arrival of election material. In that of February, I was here when the former governor of Rivers State and his former minister, but in his polling unit, they did not see INEC officers and materials not until around 12 p.m. I'm talking about conducting an election. And guidelines say that 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Now, if people are not starting by 8:30 p.m., some people will be starting by 10 a.m. Are we expecting them to close by 2 p.m.? No. And these are the things that normally cause delay of result announcement in our election. When we start election list, so there's duty bound for you now to end the election around 4 p.m. Don't forget the just concluded presidential election. There was said that election were held on Sunday. They were unable to hold on Saturday because of later arrival of materials, some logistic problem, and they shifted the election down to Sunday for people to go and cast their ballot. So I think it is high time for us to sit now, especially INEC now, and develop a modality that how can we overcome this problem, because INEC doesn't have the power to transport election materials across the polling in the country. They need to rely on some unions, and that's why we're talking about that. The capacity of INEC in this election is limited. INEC can only deploy election materials, deploy what you use, but deployment, even the deployment of other staff, INEC need to rely on transport unions. Deployment of security, INEC need to deploy on IG.
But so, before these elections, they came on board assuring Nigerians that they will try as much as possible. In fact, they made it look like it was 100% the elections were going to go easy and smooth, and then the election process was going to be at the exact
they
time.
even had mock exercise for it.
Exactly. So
it was important.
Seeing all this playing out right now is quite questionable. Is it that the INEC cannot contain this particular challenge?
You see, Angela, like I said, INEC will still rely on some people to perfect this election. INEC doesn't have vehicle that will convey all election material to all polling units in this country to say that, okay, we have our vehicles. So
do you think it's right to say that? I mean, this election are they actually
no.
300
the
billion
problem
for,
is
vehicle at this point.
The problem is election is won in 4 years. So if INEC should have 176,000 vehicles for after the election, how would they be running the vehicles? How would they be maintaining the vehicles?
If they knew that their logistic was not in place, I mean, they had lots of room. I mean, 4 years is a big time frame to actually get things corrected, apply for whatever they wanted to apply for, and they were.
See, Ezekiel, there are some things that we call uncircumstantial events that you don't plan for. Even it's happening in the media. When we're in the media, you'll be preparing for something. In fact, you will invite a guest. We are sure that will be coming. 5 minutes later, it's not coming again. What will you do? You can't stop the program now. You need also look for a way to continue the program. So most of this issue, we can't blame them on INEC. You know what it takes INEC to enter agreement with the road transport union for the logistic of moving electoral materials from one place to another. Now, the first report we got from Ilorin that no security personnel, people are playing football on the pitch. Can we hold INEC responsible for that? No, we can't hold INEC. The sole responsibility of INEC is to deploy their personnel on the election day to various polling units, conduct an election, and announce the winner of the election. Electoral Act does not say that INEC will be the one responsible for moving the transport system from one place. Although they will liaise, they will go in agreement with road transport union in conveying the election materials from one place to another. And at the end of the day, it is something to change. Can we blame INEC for that? Because this assignment of INEC is just once in 4 years, apart from off-season election. So if we are saying that INEC should have 176,000 vehicles that will monitor each polling unit after the election, what will happen to those vehicles? And they will be running the vehicles. They will be doing repairing, and so. So INEC will still be relying on some agent or some association as far as electionary process is concerned in this country. Now look at those people working with INEC. How many staff does INEC have? No, we are talking about adult staff. There's no way we go to conduct election that INEC will not recruit the youth corps members, students, and so on and so forth. When you look at this election now, hardly will you see core INEC officials holding beavers. It's only the corps members and maybe graduates that apply. Their own staff will just to go out and monitor the election. Now, if something should happen, I got to know that some beavers were bypassed during the presidential election. Will you blame INEC for that? It's because of the people that are managing this. That's why INEC is talking about those who want to circumvent the process, those who want to make the process so difficult for them to know. So, in as much INEC is still relying on some people to help them, as far as the election process is concerned, there is bound to be this what we are witnessing.
All right, I guess at this point it's only fair to get the heat off INEC a little for a while. It's just that persons are actually expecting just plenty from INEC as a body. I know are bound to make mistakes at some point, but when it comes to decisions, as these national decisions, of course, humans always tend to want plenty. Now, like I said, off INEC a little while, I'm quite concerned as to the candidacy, the APC candidacy for Kaduna State. Now, should I say, is it okay to say El-Rufai actually did the test run during his time when he was running for governorship, where the Muslim ticket? That was
second time. That was second time of El-Rufai. He did not try that in the first time.
That was in the first time.
He did not try that during his first regime. It was Muslim Christian ticket. But when it was coming in 2019, he ran on Muslim ticket, and has been generating noise now.
Which was a test run at that point. A test run actually worked perfectly for them. It worked perfectly for them. And then when he came to the president-elect, President of Tinubu, and then Shetima, it was more like every religious fellow came against it in the name of the Lord. People tagged the emergence from hell, and every word they could actually think of and all that. It worked for them. It worked for Nigerians, it worked for APC, it worked for Tinubu and Shetima.
Yes.
And here again, in Kaduna State, Uba Sani is going for a governorship election, going with Hadiza Sabwa Balarabe.
Muslim
ticket. The question is, has Muslim ticket come to stay finally?
Let me start from how it worked for Tinubu. You know, initially it started with the Muslim ticket, and where the section 14, section 3 of the Constitution was put to test. No, section 43, for section 14, subsection 3 is talking about the use of equity, fairness, justice, and so on. And it's talking about sharing formula. When it goes to this, comes to this. Now, and at the end of the day, you know, that one generated noise. At the end of the day, year of earthwise of Tinubu. I'm talking about how it will work for Tinubu. Year of earthwise came up. Is he ready to run? Is he physically fit? Chicago certificate came up for Tinubu. That was what made Nigeria to forget about Muslim tickets. No, we're talking about, oh, is he fit? Is not fit? Today is in London. He doesn't attend debate. He's not that one now cover up the issue of Muslims before we know the man got elected as president. But the issue of Kaduna is a sensitive state in Nigeria. Southern Kaduna is predominantly dominated by Christians. Go and find out, Ezekiel. Southern Kaduna. Predominantly dominated by Christians.
Okay, I think we're out of time, so we'll need to just summarize.
So this issue now will be a kind of test run for El-Rufai.
Do you think it's a test run anymore? I mean, it's done once, it was a success, it's done second time.
No, that was second time. That was second time. And second, what made second time to work was the issue of Buhari campaigning. You know, you can't roll out Buhari's factor on ballot in 2015 and 2019. In fact, Buhari released helped some states in another part of the country for APC to win. Because, see, in this country, some people still believe that if you don't have our own on ballot, we will not vote for you. So, in 2019, 2015, some states benefited from Buhari candidacy as far as the election is concerned. And Kaduna happens to be one of the states that benefited from Buhari candidacy in 2015 and 2019. So it doesn't make Nigerians to see that, okay, Muslim. But now that Buhari is no more on the ballot, we saw what happened. February 2015, February 25, that PDP was unable to win state that they won in 2019. Now, the issue of Kaduna is going to be a nose. And again, El-Rufai was unable to deliver Kaduna to APC in presidential election. It's going to be another hotspot state now for us in this 2023 governorship election in Kaduna.
Well,
but I see Kaduna, is it that PDP or APC at the end of the day?
Plenty of time to find out.
So much.
Thank you, Ezekiel. Thank you for having me.
It has been wonderful having you around. And I definitely know that our viewers has enjoyed your analysis so far of the happenings currently taking place in the various fields and polling units across the nation. And this is where we'll be leaving you from our studios here in Ondo City, but we'll be leaving you with some of the reports, situation reports going on right now on the field. I am Angela Daku.
It's very simple. Go out there, vote, come back, stay glued to KAFTAN TV. I remain Ezekiel Oga.
Bye.
And I'm going back home now, so waiting for when the votes will be counted. Come back.
So, did you see any change whatsoever, like any difference whatsoever in this process, unlike the presidential election?
Okay, what I'm seeing here, the first time we had to go and look for our names. So today when I just come, they just asked me if I voted before. I said yes, so they just asked for my card and everything. They just take my picture.
So
and
what
ask
you're
me
saying is that INEC has improved their process on like the presidential poll?
Well, they tried, because the last time I knew I was walking around and looking for my polling units. I knew my polling units, but my name was not there, so I had to be walking all around looking for my name. But today, I know where I voted the last time, so I just came straight and they attend to me. I'm good.
Okay, so looking at your polling unit now, is there any issue of vote buying whatsoever? Security problem?
No, not at all. Yeah, no vote buying, no security. Although we are not much here. My polling, you are not much. Just from it's no longer I came and I'm casting my vote, so I'm going back home.
Alright, so we have seen that you have exercised your fan choice. How would you describe the election process?
Well, I want to give it to I think I put it on this and then it will look peaceful, it will look good. Although we also literacy in this world, as a particular period, let the vast no longer work at it. I think it will increase. I love the way people think out. The organizing is there for them to actually exercise their civic responsibility. I want to give it to INEC. It is well organized, though there are little strategy challenges, but all in all, I think it's a very good.
So, what exactly is the issue about the security talk about?
There are some polling booths that we don't have security personnel, and because of this, some people are insisting that that's 12:59, they will not commence voting. I think it's being reformed now.